There are just two results to an undertaking: succeed or come up short. Get what you worked for and you're a triumph. Miss the mark regarding that, and you're a disappointment. We consider these two results on the off chance that they were parallel. In any case, possibly it's time we reconsider disappointment. That is, the means by which we can utilize inability to give preferences that we probably won't increase in any case. Here are the 4 mindset switches you can make to change disappointment into quality.
Before we start, please click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell button to become a subscriber of Unlock Our Knowledge.
Number 1. Utilize the feelings from inability to get more grounded. Disappointment appears to suggest that nothing is picked up. Long periods of work and energy have been placed into an undertaking, however the yield is zero. In any event, that is what it resembles from an external perspective. Glimpsing inside ourselves, notwithstanding, might give us another point of view on fizzling. For the duration of our lives, we find out about the fixings to succeed: perseverance, procedure, and self-assurance, in addition to other things. Shouldn't something be said about the characteristics picked up by managing disappointment? We live in a culture that instructs us to advance and publicize ourselves and to ace the aptitudes needed for progress, yet that gives little support to quietude, compassion, and legitimate self-encounter, which are fundamental for building character. Streams calls attention to how outstanding pioneers expected to confront inner battles altogether, to move to the statures of character. Only the brutal exercises of disappointment helped them comprehend their restrictions and become more grounded for it. For example, labor dissident Francis Perkins took in the significance of poise so as to additional a greater reason. On the off chance that we set aside the effort to ponder how we feel during troublesome occasions, we may find that we get ourselves and the individuals around us better. Number 2. Reevaluate inability to inspire yourself. In brain research, there's a term called psychological reappraisal, which is a method of changing our feelings during a distressing circumstance. At the point when we direct negative feelings, we're better ready to adapt to troublesome functions and diminish sentiments of wretchedness. For example, after you've been diverted down from a meeting or customer proposition, the principal reaction is likely going to be pity or disarray. Your life may feel like it's halted. In any case, in the event that you begin considering the circumstance a test or an analysis, you become more groundbreaking. Achievement isn't conclusive, disappointment isn't deadly, it is the fearlessness to proceed with that matters. Instead of considering inability to be the stopping point, attempt to consider it to be an unavoidable piece of the excursion to developing yourself. Possibly what you needed isn't an ideal choice for you, so disappointment is a method of freeing yourself up to better chances. Number 3. Take a gander at disappointment as an exercise. Numerous individuals tend to avoid disappointment. It gets hidden away from plain view or dodged inside and out. In any case, whenever left unattended, little disappointments can snowball into enormous disappointments. For instance, excusing another person's thoughts once can prompt an average outcome. Continually overlooking the criticism of others again and again can make a culture of doubt and absence of correspondence, which prompts a poisonous climate. So how would we leave undesirable practices speechless? Ordinary disappointments can fill in as early notice signs. Whenever identified and tended to right on time, disastrous disappointments can be forestalled. In one model, the CEO of an organization pulled out a $450 botch out of the dumpster, mounted it on a plaque, and composed an introduction service. The champ, at first humiliated, in the long run invested heavily in how his slip-up kept future comparative mix-ups from occurring. From an individual point of view, this implies opening yourself to disappointment. Rather than moving the fault and imagining nothing occurred, recognize that a slip-up happened and consider it to be a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, what would I be able to detract from this experience? How might I improve for whenever? If you see disappointments emphatically, you can begin moving the correct way. Number 4. Apply the abilities from your past disappointment. Appearing early, placing in the work, and being the last to leave doesn't ensure the outcomes you need. As cruel as it sounds, some of the time needing something gravely enough doesn't mean you'll get it. Somebody I knew, how about we call him John, needed to play hockey expertly. Since the beginning, he woke up each day vulnerable, winter obscurity for hockey practice. At the point when he arrived at college, he joined the significant junior hockey class. Hockey devoured his life. Every one of his companions were from the hockey group. His days were generally spent either practically speaking or out and about contending with different groups. However, when he arrived at his senior year, he quit. John acknowledged he wasn't adequate to go proficient. As much as it hurt, he chose to take off to business college. Disappointment stings. At the point when you put long periods of your life into something just to hit a barrier, it seems like an exercise in futility. In any case, whenever directed astutely, those aptitudes from disappointment can be applied to something different. For John's situation, he was unable to put what he realized into turning into a hockey player. Be that as it may, he could apply those equivalent standards of control, cooperation, and time the board into developing by and expertly in business college. John in the end found a position functioning as a specialist in a worldwide organization, where he utilized those well-deserved aptitudes from his past life as a hockey player. During the time spent pursuing a result, we train ourselves to think and act in specific manners. Whether or not you arrive at progress or disappointment, you actually convey those abilities, and it's that learning cycle that shapes the individual you become.
If you enjoy watching this video, do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell button so you can receive new videos to come. Thank you and God bless.